Look, well, that's what happens. How do you deal with it? You try to fix it. A lot of these things you can prevent. Let me see. Confident man. You got confident man. All right.
Okay, first time doing this. I do it right.
What's going on, confident man?
What's going on, sir? How are you?
All right. How you making it, brother?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. Is there echo? There's no echo, is there?
What's that?
There's no echo, is there? Can you hear me?
No, you got an echo?
I'm just making sure because some people come on live and they got a thing playing in the background and so I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it do be like that, but it's not like that here. Now I'll tell you, when I first started streaming through Ecamm Live, it was like that. It was real difficult. So
Yeah.
what you got for me, boss man?
Well, you know, um, I got nothing against her mindset on how she wants to be an entrepreneur. Talking about Ebony Williams. I have nothing against how she is and what she wants to become and strive for, which is admirable, which is awesome, right? I will not and I shall not allow her to be okay with what I mean by that is okay with her not taking accountability on how her message came across towards everybody and how she conducted herself. She may not understand it, she may not see that, but that's the blind spots us as humans have to work on. That's one of her blind spots. She's not realizing that when she's talking about people, she doesn't realize how she's talking about them in the way that's very disingenuous, right? She's not very sentimental about a lot of things. She's just kind of straight to the point. Again, cool for running businesses, cool for becoming that alpha queen or whatever you want to call it, right? Perfectly fine. But when it comes to see, when it comes to people, I can tell you her level of connecting with people isn't that strong because how you do most things is how you do everything. If she's like this on camera, trust me, she's going to be like that with her business partner. She's going to be like that with majority of the people out there, and she's going to miss plenty of opportunities because in the way she conducts herself, and she again over her head, she misses opportunities, relationships, business. It's in a lot of areas. So my thing is this: it's cool that she's the way she is. I applaud her. I really do for what she's doing and making her books, and I think it's fantastic for our women to be out there doing what they need to do. But there's a way to go about doing it, and you got to have a little bit of empathy. And no offense, but we know women lack empathy. We know that, especially towards men. We know that, but unfortunately, she needs to consider that if she's going to be a businesswoman, a single mother, etc., etc. Um, she's a leader. She needs to be responsible in that in taking that role. So, I mean, that's my perspective on that. I can elaborate on it, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, man. It's just that you would think that when women are able to come from a single mother household like that, where the father wasn't there, or they was in poverty, or they saw their mother and the people struggling, striving to try to be better, and she says
Yeah,
she want to be a voice for the black people.
yeah,
What she's missing, and I don't understand how a lot of black women are missing, is that it's so important to have the nuclear family because that's how you create a mutual interest between a group of people to actually rebuild or reestablish a community. It's by having
yeah,
strength in numbers, and then everybody is have some class or some standard or approach to it where they all thinking alike, they all on one accord. We're able to get things done. But right now we kind of divided. So when she's
yeah,
pushing this narrative that hey, look, you can be there's it doesn't necessarily need to be the nuclear family. Like you can
yeah,
choose how you want to be in the family, like interracial or even be a stepmother, a stepfather, blended families and all this stuff. Yeah, that's fine, but
yeah,
isn't it more difficult to be on a mutual plane, on a mutual level as far as getting things done? If everybody comes from different cultures and different ethnicities and trying to come into one, and we don't really understand how the importance of our race, the things that we lost back in the past, that she claims she
Yeah.
want to be more outspoken for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That is,
She's been practicing family law for a long time. Like she's an attorney. I don't know if she's an attorney anymore, but like she's seen how the court systems ripped families apart based on their laws
yeah.
and the decision making and how the father not being in the household is a detriment to growth. So for her to
Yeah.
say that she wants to be a single mom is just kind of be like, damn, what the hell?
Yeah.
It sounds like if you see the worst part of our culture happen so much, you start to embrace it and start to accept it and subscribe to it. And I think that's what she's doing. She's like, well, fuck it, it's just how things are. I done been around
Yeah.
these men, and I think she's scoring from all the men she was dealing with. She looks really
She
attractive,
she
for her
does.
a 40-year-old woman. She keeps herself in shape, but she's hasn't been able to get it done. And I don't know if she's saying I don't know if I haven't read any articles. I haven't seen any videos or interviews of her saying it was my fault. I could have been this and I could have been that. The last
Yeah.
interview I saw was her with Iyanla Van Zant. She said, "I need a man to show me, show me I'm wrong, show me my flaws, and all
Yeah.
these things." And I'm like, who's to say that these men weren't doing that over the course of 20 years that you've been dating? And she's
Well.
been engaged, and I don't know what happened in the last, but somebody in the chat said her engagement
Mhm.
was broken because the man wanted to see his kids during COVID, and she wasn't. I guess she wasn't having it or whatever.
Again, we're missing things over her head. She's not thinking. No offense, but this is the pattern that I notice is that a lot of our modern women, they don't think about the things that they think about. They just kind of feel. They don't think about what they think about because majority of the time it's all feeling. So they don't pay for those inadequacies or deficiencies, if you will, till later on in life. But by then, like we always say, it's too little, too late, right? They always want to play the victim card. They always want to play the blame game. And again, this is what it looks like. And I want everybody to understand this. This is what it looks like when you do not take accountability. Hey, man or woman, but specifically right now for, Ebony, when you don't take accountability, what it does to you and your character. You don't have to agree with me. I mean, the results are in, the data's there. This isn't nothing new. This is scientifically proven that if we don't watch what we do or how we think about things, we will end up falling victim to our own mental vices. I'm not going to get too deep into this because I read a lot. I read a lot. There's books I read like Switch on Your Brain by Caroline Leaf. Fantastic book if you guys have ever read books. Atomic Habit by James Clear. It's a
James Clear.
fantastic book. Yeah, yeah. It talks about habits, talks about habit creation, talks about how we interact as humans and where these habits come from. Obviously, it all starts from our thoughts. But my main thing is that we have to be cautious. We have to be careful of the thoughts we intake and what we think about because we will adopt people's perspectives without realizing it. And what you're seeing is that, unfortunately, a lot of modern women out here just don't take a lot of accountability for what they've done or how they're acting. And it always ends up happening. They might take accountability, but it's too little too late. And by that time, like I said, nobody wants them. They're mad. Men are evil. Men are trash. All this goofy stuff that they say just to validate their ego. It's all ego tripping to make their ego feel good, which is another low value trait. It's nothing. I'm not attacking nobody. Let me get this very clear. I'm not attacking Ebony. I'm not attacking anybody. What I'm doing is I'm attacking her ideas and how she's operating, how she's thinking. So this is not a personal attack towards her. I don't know her, right? Even if I did, I have the mental awareness and responsibility and maturity to know how to pick my battles and how to communicate to people because I've done this for years and I know how to communicate. And I'm not going to attack somebody just because of the way I feel. No, I'm attacking your ideas. So I'm just going to attack her ideas, not her, right? But that's the thing. I just think a lot of us need to. It's a maturity thing, man. It really is. We see a lot of our community. A lot of people are just very immature, and they don't know it because they never been taught it. This is what it looks like when you're still acting like a child. Talking about Ebony, a little bit off subject. Um, what I was saying, when you're acting like a child and you throw tantrums, you throw fits because you've done this for years. You think it's acceptable. You think it's okay, and it's something that's in your norm. It's just totally normal to you because you've done it for so many years, and nobody's called you out on it. So it's just a learned behavior. You know, point blank. Period. It's just a learned behavior. We learn bad habits, good habits, but I think it starts by learning how to have good habits. We really got to learn how to have healthy habits. Watch what we say, how we think about things, and if we do that, we have to want to change. And if people actually do want to change, you'll see real change happen. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Amen to that. Now, let me ask you a
yeah,
question though.
yes, sir.
What if you had, let's say you had a daughter, she's 17, 18, graduate.
Hmm.
You know how women are getting when they get into college. You know
Okay.
women are taking this route to try to be independent and have control of their own lifestyle. That's fine, but it comes at
Yeah,
the expense of not prioritizing marriage or family, and then
yeah,
longing for it whenever they get all their accolades and achievements and certifications and degrees and
yeah,
raises and positions.
yeah.
So what does that conversation look like to a young girl that's getting ready to go to college? Her mind is already set to like, oh, I want to go ahead and be like Ebony K. Williams. How do you how do you tell a young girl that, hey, look, this you might want to think differently about it or whatever? Like, what would you say?
So, like my young daughter, that would be going to college, correct? Make sure I
Yeah.
understand. Listen, you are a full-grown adult, okay? And I will not allow my daughter, future daughter, if I have one, to not take accountability or responsibility for her choices. What I mean by that, by acknowledging the reality of things, not based on how she feels or how society makes her feel, thinks she feels. I want her to understand that there are pros and there are cons to set choices. Okay? What we choose to do will dictate our life. So, hot girl summer, you know, or hot girl, whatever, freaking
City
four
girl
year
lifestyle.
city girl life, Uh, listen, for every action, there is a reaction, cause and effect. For every cause that you have, there is an effect. There, you don't go. None of us. Well, I always say this: we never go through life unscathed. Okay, we all will be scathed. Okay, every single one of us will have a point to where what we've built will have a dire consequence, or good or bad, in our future. So what I'm saying is she needs to understand to be accountable and responsible for her choices because they do have consequences despite what she does. Again, I'm all for my future daughter to be able to do what she wants to do, but not at the expense of ignorance. She needs to know the truth on how things actually are, how she needs to operate in this world if she wants the best high quality outcome. And as far as I'm concerned, a lot of women want they want as much outcome as they can get. They want the best outcome they get, but they do it bass backwards. They do everything that everyone else does that doesn't perpetuate a healthy mindset, but then they end up complaining why they have the life they have. Well, it's because you followed an indoctrination mindset. You didn't actually think about the things you're thinking about. You just kind of, you know, you're like sheeple. You follow what everyone else did, you know?
And you
So
said you
I want
said
to
something you
break
said
that
something very
cycle of,
important.
I
You
want to
said
break that
something very
cycle.
important. You
Yeah,
said they know, like, they need to know the truth or whatever. And
yeah.
me
It's very
personally,
important.
I think Ebony K. Williams, given her background, her education, the books she read, I think her mother gave her a book about Black history or something like that. And
Hmm.
her learning of, the Black struggle and she, given her being well rounded, with all this knowledge, it's
Yeah,
safe to say that she knows that the decisions she making and the influence she's having on other women is going to ultimately cause issues because her level of
I don't think
education and
she
her level
cares.
of knowledge
Yeah,
suggests that she's deliberately doing these things and really could give a damn like, who it affects, or what following is going to
Yeah.
fall in her footsteps, or follow her footsteps.
Yeah.
And
And that's just
it
right.
just makes me cringe. Like, damn, they're gonna, these women are gonna want to go and get on that same train. And I think you probably got women that day. I'm with her. I would date no bus driver here. Yeah, I get it. Some of these guys start off dating. Some of these guys start off driving a bus. And it's not
Yep.
even driving a bus. That's just an example. The average working dude. Some of these
Well,
guys
see,
start
here's the
off, and then
difference.
I mean, like me and you and I, we started off average probably. I don't know about you.
Yeah,
I
brother.
started off average.
I was about to tell you. I started out working at Vaughn's at 17 years old, pushing carts, being a courtesy clerk. Fast forward 2 decades now, right? My life has a little bit more gravitas, let's say, for lack of better words. I've been able to be financially secure, be able to have my stuff together. I like to think I'm pretty exceptional. Why? Because I've had to work at it. Not because I just think I am, not because I feel I am, because I have the work to show it, and the hard work and mindset to do the work. What makes a man exceptional is a willingness and a work ethic he's willing to put into his work, his lifestyle. That is the separator. Everything else is debatable. But if I notice, I could tell if people are actually about it or not because their work ethic will show. That's the separating factor between everyone. Most people are just flat out lazy. But you can become exceptional, but guess what? It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to become
Exactly.
uncomfortable.
That's well
But
put,
that's
man.
where
I
you want
like
to be.
I like how you put
That's,
that.
that's where you want to be. So, but anyways, I don't want to hold you up. I know you got a bunch of people that might want to call in. I just wanted to chime in and see my face, see you, man, just connect and and
Pr- pr- Appreciate
you
you
know,
pulling up,
re-
man.
re-
I haven't got the rate of callers up yet, but it's coming soon. I just got to keep grinding, man. But I do appreciate you
definitely.
coming up. What's your name again?
Oh, actual name is Varen,
Varen.
but
Oh yeah,
on yeah,
I think I talked to you on Instagram a couple times.
yeah. But I go by One Confident Man, so that's what I've changed it to. So
Okay, One
you know,
Confident Man. I heard that. That's right, y'all. Shout out to One Confident Man. You got a channel or anything like that?
no, we've been working on it. We call ourselves the Young Alpha Kings. It's really uh, it hasn't blown up, but we're working on it too. You got to just stay in the grind. Just get out there and kick butt and just work. That's the
I know
gift,
that's right.
and it's a gift. And I want everybody before I go to understand that the work is the reward. It's not the rewards you get later. The work is the gift. If you understand that you already have the gift within you and you're working, you already received the gift. The results are or that you get are the fruits of your labor. So if you're willing to do the work, you'll get those fruits of your labor. But understand the work is the results and is the prize. So
I heard that different perspective. That's a good. It sound good, man. It sound great. Appreciate you pulling up, my guy.
yes, sir. Be safe, brother. You take care.
All righty.